And welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. Of course, I am always pressing it down to the very last minute, down to the wire. How's everybody doing out there? Let's take a look at that 4-hour chart as we like to start off that stream. And what do you see? What do you see there? We've been talking about it a little bit. Can you see anything? See what's going on in this chat. Apparently nothing is going on in this chat. What is going on in this chat? All right. Stregahart in the building, and we're missing some people. Where is Melissa? Very strange, but you know, things happen. And still gonna run this show. So right here you can obviously see the shoulder, head and shoulder, right? Stregahart says, I'm pretty hungry right now. I hope you're hungry for some crypto raising information, but I feel you. I just got back from the gym shortly, and I haven't eaten very much today. I got one bowl of soup in me, some Zuppa Toscana, if you know, you know, and that's all I got. So here's the shoulder, head and shoulder. Talked about it a little bit with our measured move from the neckline. And you're almost there. I mean, really, really, really close. You were here yesterday, yesterday stream. We had this wick down here, and then we had this push back up. Pretty much looks like it got rejected by the 21 on the 4-hour. Back down, put in a lower wick for us. And then, of course, the measured move. So that lower wick was about 58,000. Let's call it 58,000. And then our measured move here is like 57,100, right? So you got like an easy, I don't know, another 900 from the bottom of this wick. So here, let's see what happens. Is it just going to come up or go a little sideways till the 21 comes close, and then you're going to get that lower push? I mean, that's what's happened twice now. Are you getting a little bit of a very slanted shoulder, head and shoulder? How's everybody feeling out there? Let me know. If you're here, thank you for being with me. A few people might be a little slow to roll in on Thursday. We're all just pushing through the week, right? And for those who may be watching this later, welcome to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show, where we go deeper into topics that actually raise that crypto IQ. And this week, our series is all about crypto and its trust problem, which I think is a pretty big problem if you ask me. And Monday, we talked about the big question: who can you trust in crypto? Tuesday, we talked about custody and why not your keys, not your crypto still matters. Wednesday, we talked about smart contract risk and why codes break. That was yesterday, and I tell you, that was pretty in-depth for somebody who's maybe not been around for a long time or really ever taken the time to look at it. It's a big difference between holding cryptocurrency in a portfolio somewhere, Coinbase, whatever it may be, even a hot wallet, and actually taking the time to understand the dynamics of cryptocurrency as a whole. And tonight we're going to talk about stablecoins, which we did have a series where we talked about stablecoins a little bit last week, but we're coming back from a different angle. And stablecoins are one of the most powerful parts of crypto right now when it comes to adoption, when it comes to people outside of crypto paying attention. They help people trade and they help people move money. They basically power DeFi. They connect crypto to payments and exchanges, apps, remittance, and on-chain finance. But stablecoins also create a very important trust question that you might not be thinking about. When you hold stablecoins, what are you actually trusting in? Whose stablecoin is it? When you hold USDT, is it different from holding USDC? Who is it that you trust when you hold USDT versus USDC and the onslaught of many other stablecoins, right? Are you trusting what it's pegged to? Are you trusting the issuers, the reserves they may have, the redemption process? You gotta hope that never goes down. The blockchain, smart contracts, the regulators, and the app you're holding it in as well. Can't forget that. So tonight we're going to break down why stablecoins are useful and why they matter and why stable does not mean risk-free. So stable, but not risk-free. And then we were looking at this, bouncing back to the chart, after my amazing introduction. I hope you liked it. You saw this continuation pattern here, right? I'm pretty sure you got all of that. You got all of that move, right? It did kind of not give it to you fully, bounce up, and then it gave it to you, right? So sometimes you got to hold in. Of course, you know, you can kind of just keep doing this over and over, right? It'd look a little better on the 1 hour. It'd be a little more fuller, right? And then you would take your measured move. And bang. And that actually gets you down. So we'll see what happens. We'll be paying attention. Pull it in on the 1 hour. You can see these continuation pattern, and lo and behold, I should say, you're doing it again. And that would be pretty much bang right there. And that would get you even deeper than the big head and shoulder measured move altogether. You are getting a little far from the 200, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. That 21 is right there. So what do you think? Are we going to this measured move here of 55,500, 600? Splitting hairs there a little bit. What's going on in this chat? Pretty much just me and Strugahart. Hey, it's Thursday. And you know what? I talk a lot about personal development, grinding, showing up. And sometimes you can't predict the weather. You just keep showing up. Stable is not the same thing as safe. That's the whole lesson that we're going to get into tonight. And what you may not know is that stablecoins can be both useful and very controllable. A lot of people very worried about CBDCs. I know that they just passed something making it so there couldn't be CBDCs till 2030. Honestly, that's not far enough off for me to be all that comfortable, right? They could just use that time to set up how they're going to make the CBDC happen and everybody love it, right? Sometimes they take a little bit of time to study us and figure out how they're going to sell it to you and make you want it, make you love it. Routers reports that Tether said it had frozen 4.2 billion worth of USDT due to links to illicit activity, including funds connected to scams, human trafficking, terrorism, sanctioned entities, law enforcement requests, and that kind of freezability can help fight crime. That's somewhat a positive. But it also shows some major stablecoins are not censorship resistant in any way, shape, or form like Bitcoin is, and that's not automatically good or bad. It can be used for a good thing. It could also be used to freeze your money when you don't want to do what they say to do later down the line. So it's something to definitely think about. It is a trust trade-off, as we would call it. Users want compliance and law enforcement cooperation. Others want censorship resistance, but either way, stablecoins and their users should understand the difference and the risk in the trust that they are taking. Wow, if you're out there, throw 111 in the chat. It's just one of those days, I guess. I feel you. It's Thursday. I grinded all day. I get it. Let me swap you back over so we can really kick this thing off. You know where we need to start, at the crypto bubbles. And I really am itching to look at where MemeCore is right now. I didn't get to look at the market much today. Like I said, I've been grinding, I've been working, just like everybody else has to do on this green earth. Unless you were born into a family with a ton of money. But even that comes with its downsides, right? If you've ever been around it, you would understand. It's not all peachy in Moneyland. Now, MemeCore, let's take a look at that. I mean, it bottomed out at, what is that, 46 cents? It's so small. Why do they make it so ridiculously small? And then it had a high today of $1, and we're back to 90 cents. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. You know, this does look like it's setting up bearish continuation pattern that already kind of broke that trend line here. We'll take a look at it maybe on a chart here shortly. MemeCore, I bought $100 of it at like $1.13 or whatever, so I could stake it over there and just hold a little bit because it was doing well, and it went way up. But of course I didn't sell it. I'm holding for the long hold there. I don't have a huge stake. It is what it is. Strangleheart says he's number one. And you know what today, brother? You are number one. Beat 26.6% to the upside. ETH5 13.4 to the upside. Lab 8.8. What did it top out? At about $19.73. Lab going strong. When you see that thing dip, it's usually a pretty good buy incentive. VVV, another one. I'm waiting. I'd love to get it around under $10, but really around like $8, $7, $6, $1. No, I'm just playing. But I think this thing could come back really strong after the bear market's open. A lot of people really liking what it has, unless, of course, it gets flooded or something crazy happens, which in the land of crypto, well, that can happen. Let's drop down another 100 here. And before we even do, let's toggle this 1 through 1,000. Not the worst day, right? With all that we've been given here lately in this bear market. 2 to 300's down 1.7%, 3 to 4, 1%. But other than that, it's not been a horrible day. And somehow that 1 through 100 just barely squeaking green there, 0.02%. There's Melissa. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for being here. What did I click on now? All right. So now we're at 100 to 200 here. We're just checking up on the market. Meme Core kind of did bounce back a little bit. I was happy about that. Story, or IP, I think has a strong use case. I don't think the marketing is as amazing as it could be, but they do have a strong use case here. At a low today of 31 cents, it's up to 41 cents. So it's up 28%. Basic attestation token, BNB service, or BNB attestation service. Okay, so this is a little bit different. It's not BAT, this is BAS. Kind of seeing those rising wedges everywhere. Which, if you flipped them upside down, would be falling wedges, right? They'd be bullish continuation patterns. TAC up 13%. We've talked about TAC. Right, it's in the ton ecosystem. If my memory serves me here, let's dump into it, just to make sure that I'm not just making things up from a false memory here. Boom, ton ecosystem. Your boy is on point, and that is why you come to the channel. I think that's why you come to the channel. Anyways, Sky AI up 12%. AWE or AW Network is up a nice 11.8%. Ape up 13.7%. I always love to see Ape moving up to 14 cents. Okay. I'm sure Melissa's got some Ape, right? Am I right or am I right? Don't leave any room for doubt. So 2 to 300 is actually one of the worst categories here. We have this Alchemist AI, which has been around for a while, 12.6% to the upside. And Solstice, which we were talking about yesterday, up 21.4%. Let's just call it 21%. It's up. It went as high as 41 cents. Let's put it that way. 01, a new exchange on the radar, has done nothing but just bomb. It might be at a low. It is making a rounded bottom. I know a lot of people say rounded bottoms pay the bills. Might be one to buy and sell on a pump. I don't know, because I don't give you financial advice. I'm not buying it. I'll put that. Law Block. Wow, look at that. If that's not the most Bart Simpson I've ever seen, look at that thing. And this is sketchy looking. Let's see. Yeah, straight up and just holds with like little to no selling. Let's look at it on the yearly. Look how square it is. I've heard a lot of people tell me that when things they look like stair steps, they're very blocky, they're very squarey in price action. It's a good red flag that the liquidity in the movement is not really legitimate or organic or authentic, however you want to put it. And we'll drop down one more just to see what the heck is going on. I clicked it, but it didn't move. Huma, White. Oh, Fogo. Come on, Fogo Fishing. Fogo Fishing, do something. Man, it popped, but it gave it all back immediately. All right, Fogo, I see you. And Idol, or Meet48. Sounds like some kind of dating website. I'm good on that one. I don't know what that is, but we'll see what we get into here. Let's do our price rundown as we always do, giving people time to run into the show. I do notice a lot of people don't really roll in until about 9 o'clock. I'm starting to wonder if I should start launching the show at 8:45, but I'm not making any changes right this moment. LOL, I'm using it for one. All right, so Bitcoin under 60,000 here, and they said if we went under 60,000, it was going to tank pretty hard. 59,686. Here we are at the precipice. I'm practicing my big words, guys. Wonder where Cam is. It's Thursday night. Doesn't he play like pool or something with his friends? Ethereum 1,565. I'm low-key kind of geeked about grabbing some Ethereum at some low prices here. I don't know about you guys, but they can't hold that Ethereum down forever. BNB is another one. It's funny because a lot of times I do a lot more speculating on smaller coins, and right now I hold a lot of smaller coins, and I'd like to increase some of these bigger coins. I'd really love to hold some BNB, snatch some up. Man, I remember when I was buying BNB at like $20, but I was using it on Binance Smart Chain. So being a part of the ecosystem, you always remember a time when you were buying stuff really cheap. And now it went to like $1,000. My goodness. All those things that I was messing around with, trying to make $1, the summer of DeFi, whatever you want to call it, and I made some dollars, don't get me wrong. But if I would have just held all that BNB, I'd be doing great. I'd be doing a little bit better, right? So anyways, $560 for BNB. That is kind of the lesson there. I'm excited about scooping some Ethereum and some BNB at lower prices. XRP, I kind of hold what I want to hold right now for XRP. I don't know. It just didn't hold value as well in my opinion. So I'm holding what I got, right? Solana, $67.79. Melissa showing off those custom emojis. If you're just rolling in, smash that like button for me. It's the easiest thing you could do to help this channel out. Hyperliquid, $63.77. Dogecoin, falling under that 7.5 cent mark. It's down 10.4% in the last 7 days. Right here, we're reading all these, prices. We're kind of just taking a damage control assessment of the market today, which we do every single day on the good days and the bad days. There is value in showing up every single day, and I show up 6 days a week. Zcash, $414. XLM, high 17 cents. Canton Network, 15 cents. XMR, 309. Lab, 18 bucks. I think it topped out today at like 19 we looked at earlier. Well done. Lab still highly holding its value. Chainlink, $7.24. Cardano, 14 cents. Gram, previously known to all of mankind as Toncoin, is $1.56. I guess we'll call it Gram. HBAR, it's funny, a lot of times rebrands don't go well. It's easy to call it Gram. I've already forgot we ever called it Toncoin, to be honest with you. HBAR, 7 cents. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but you got me. SWE, 68 cents. I'm excited about grabbing some SWE at like 50 cents. That's going to be awesome. Avalanche, $6.21. BitTensor, $211. World Liberty Finance, I don't even usually take a look at that. Let's see if there's anything else here. ICP, $2.17. MemeCore, 88 cents, down 69.2%. Having a rough time out here. And we looked it up. We couldn't really find any kind of exploits, negative news. It just looks like a big whale pulled his money out. Maybe he plans on loading up later. Maybe he's moving on to other things. We really do not know. So here's what's trending today. Bitcoin, Hyperliquid, Plasma, Pudgy Penguin, Rain, Venice Token, XRP, Aave, Ethereum, Pepe, Beat, Synapse, SYN is up 136%. Solana, Aerodrome Finance, and Arkham. These are trending. It doesn't mean that they're pumping. If you look at these 7-day charts, some are red, some are green. And I don't see anything here on the trending that's like really catching my eye we need to go look at. I mean, I touch on Synapse since me and Melissa were looking at it. Seems to be doing well for her. Let's go to price and not market cap here. With a market cap of about 72 million, 250 million max supply. I do really like the tokenomics. I like that it's in the millions and not the billions, right? And it's actually only 250 million, which is really not bad. And then 219 million are already in circulating supply. So we don't have like this large amount of coin that we're waiting to come out into supply at some later unknown time. If the rest of it came out tomorrow, It would hurt the price a little bit, of course, but it wouldn't be that crazy of a dilution. It's got an Ethereum contract and a ton of other contracts, right? Very interoperable, we would say. It works well together with other things. It says it's Olympus Pro ecosystem, and I just really want to know what the heck Olympus Pro is. I feel like I'm out of the loop somehow, which is crazy because I show up and do a 2-hour show every night, deep diving this stuff. So when I see something, I'm like, what the heck is that? Bridge governance token, intent. We like that intent. Is it going to be the one to really capture that ChatGPT of crypto? You give it what you want it to do and it does it kind of vibe. Wow, this thing has been around a long time. I didn't realize this part. It's been around since 2021. And it's really on the bottom. It's been at the bottom for a long time, and it's just getting a pump. I wouldn't say it's like off to new time highs anytime soon. But who knows? Maybe they're doing something. Secure cross-chain communication, infrastructure. Securely connects every blockchain together. Hey, look, secure. They're really wanting you to know it's secure, powering the most popular bridge. They've been around since 2021. Deep liquidity, developer friendly. I would generally say that they're probably very legitimate. Synapse has launched Hypercall. Testnet is live here. So we know that Hypercall is in fact the testnet of the Synapse. It's very interesting. Have to keep an eye out for that one. Who's trying to farm that? Where's Chocolate Salty? Haven't seen him in a long time. Bear market taking away all of my crypto friends once again. But you know what? I'll be here when they come back. We'll throw a party and a picnic when the bull market kicks off again, and I'll still be here. And I'll still be glad to see him. I won't be salty. So the Fear and Greed Index is at 13. Before we move any further, though, I would like to tell you guys a little story about crypto. I don't have it zoomed in like I normally do, but hopefully you guys will bear with me. So let's raise that crypto IQ for the couple who are here regardless. The problem, stablecoin sounds simple. One coin equals $1. That's the pitch. And compared to most crypto assets, that simplicity is powerful. Bitcoin can move up, it can move down. Altcoins can be extremely volatile. Meme coins can rise and collapse very fast. Look at Meme Core. But stable coins are supposed to stay stable. That is what we've been told. And that's why people use them. Traders love to move between positions. DeFi users use them for lending, borrowing, liquidity, and yield. People use them to send value across borders. Apps can use them for balances and payments. Businesses can use them for settlement. So stablecoins may be one of crypto's clearest real-world use cases or tools, right? And that creates the problem. Because when something feels stable, people may assume it's safe. Luna Classic, before we had to call it Luna Classic, right? It was just Terra Luna at the time. And those are not the same things. When do most things break in crypto? They break during the bear market. I almost misspoke there. Most things break during the bear market. We're getting to the crutches of some deep bear market. Don't be surprised if some stuff breaks. But it really stress tests the market and tells us where some of the problems are. The shift here from the problem is that stablecoin does remove trust. No, it doesn't. It doesn't remove trust. Let's see. I'm just seeing if you're playing along at home here and paying attention. It changes the trust question altogether. Instead of saying, will this token pump, you ask, what keeps this token actually worth $1 consistently? Who's issuing it? And look, these roll questions that we're talking about right here, this is what the government was focused on. So you might want to pay a little bit of attention to it. Because when the government of the United States, where I live, looked at crypto regulation, they honed in on one very specific thing for a very specific reason. What keeps the token worth $1? Here's where we get in the sauce. Who issues it? What backs it? Can it be redeemed? Are they just printing money without permission? Who audits those reserves? Who audits the Federal Reserve, huh? There's a better question. What happens if everyone wants out at the same time? Can the issuer freeze the funds? Absolutely they can. What chain does it move on? What smart contract does it depend on? What happens if the app holding it fails? That is the real crypto IQ shift. Stablecoins are not just digital dollars floating around magical, not to be confused with that magic internet money stuff, right? It's funny. It's a really comical name, but they're digital dollars. They're not magic. They are a system, and systems have assumptions of trust, right? There are places in a system that can be pain points, that can be issues. What's the payoff? Once you start understanding this, you can appreciate stablecoins for what they are without being, blind to the risk that you are technically opening yourself up to. You can see why they matter for payments, DeFi, remittance, app balances, on-chain finance. They really do provide stability in crypto as long as they're working properly. But you can also see why trust still matters. The issues matter, the issuer, I should say, who's creating them, how many they're creating, right? It's almost like printing dollars in a big way. You can see why government might have a problem with that. The reserves matter. Redemption process matters. The chains matter. Smart contracts matter. The regulatory framework matters. Clarity Act, right? Stablecoins may be one of crypto's most important utility layers, but they're not risk-free. And tonight the goal is to make sure people are not scared of stablecoins. Are you scared of stablecoins? Most people are probably not. The goal is to make people smarter about what they're actually trusting and what's really going on here. Striker Heart says, seems like magic to me. Hey, stick around. Maybe we can demystify what's really going on here. So that fear and greed index, that was our story. We like to break it up a little bit so your heads don't explode from all of this IQ raising, event that's going on here. 13 on the fear and greed index. Yesterday it was 12. We moved up one tick. We're in low fear and greed index territory. What are we going to go to? 8, 10, 5 again? It's going to be very interesting to watch. I will be paying attention, I'll tell you that much. Let's go look at some trending crypto coins. Meme Core, of course, is trending because it got mollywopped, and we don't really have a good reason why. Then we have this Indonesian coin. It's new on the radar. I'm not going to focus on it because it doesn't seem relevant. What is this? Onyx? My brain is not computing. Let's call it odds. How about that? Not spend too much time on it. Social sport prediction platform. So what I feel like we're seeing right now with the prediction market is kind of the run in DeFi, how we went after decentralized exchanges and everybody had a decentralized exchange. I feel like that's what we're doing now with prediction markets, and that people doing it probably are looking to make money off fees, right? And there's a bit of in hot water, but I think they'll prevail. I think we'll have prediction markets, right? Then we have this ORN, very weird name. 38.7 million total raised here. It's a financial infrastructure and marketplace platform providing pricing, benchmarks, and capacity aggregation for the AI computation economy. Boy, that's a lot of words to throw at you at one time. The company develops ORN Computation Price Index, a transition-based benchmark for GPU computation cost distributed via Bloomberg Terminal. Boy, gotta get you some of that Bloomberg Terminal. That's exciting stuff right there. And collaborates with Intercontinental Exchange, also known as ICE. Don't everybody start throwing rocks. It's a different type of ICE, okay? Anyways, I probably nailed a bunch of keywords I'm not supposed to say so far on this stream. That's why they're not feeding it to anybody. Well done. Well done. I realize now that I've said quite a few words I'm probably not supposed to say on YouTube. Whoops. Dea has raised $2.4 million. Dea is a stablecoin powered neobank and cross-border payment platform for African businesses. So they're very much targeting the unbanked. We've heard this narrative bajillion times, not to actually try to think of the actual number because I don't know what it is, but we've heard of this narrative a lot. Cardano is supposed to deliver, and if Cardano couldn't deliver in Ethiopia, then I don't know who can deliver, but somebody will eventually. 2.4 million total raised here for Dea. We're just trying to put it on your radar, right? We're just trying to make sure you've heard of the project. When you look up and you see that it's pumping to the moon, you'll go, oh yeah, I recognize that ticker. I think it was an AI company. Oh, they were prediction markets. Cambrian Network sounds like some institutional stuff here, but let's see if it is. Cambrian Network is an AI infrastructure protocol that turns on-chain and off-chain data into rapidly accessible financial intelligence. Who do you think would want to turn AI infrastructure protocol, right, that turns on-chain? Who do you think would want to turn on-chain and off-chain data into rapidly accessible financial intelligence? If you thought an institution, then you have won the game here. Sorry, there's no prize. Struck a heart with some interesting emojis. I like it. All right, then we have Ground. There are new coins to always be watching out for. Ground provides API infrastructure layer enabling financial platforms and fintechs to embed on-chain yield and asset management. Very not super exciting, but they've raised $3.6 million. I don't see anybody who we would normally pay attention to here. No Coinbase ventures, right? Polysites, I wonder what they could possibly be doing. Polysites is an AI-driven analytics platform providing market intelligence, wallet tracking, and trading signals for prediction markets. They've only raised $1.5 million. A lot of small fries out here, but they do have YZI Labs, and they always have to say previously Binance. Those things have a way of holding on to things. It's probably still somewhat Binance. They just want to distance themselves a little bit. That would be my guess. Not making any accusations. Here we go. Bitbank. Starting to see some real numbers here. $353 million for Bitbank. So I would take it seriously. Bitbank is a licensed Japanese cryptocurrency exchange providing spot trading and over-the-counter services for retail and institutional clients. Probably more like institutional clients. Some retail, mostly institutional clients would be my bet. Who is our backers here? Looks like this SBI group is the one who gave $288 million, a big chunk of that money. So Bitbank would be on my radar. I don't know how you'd really get in on it necessarily. Jelly my jelly. Haven't looked at that in a long time. Let's hold off on that for a minute. Illume Lab is a blockchain data provider. Infrastructure, highly important. They have raised $60 million, $61 million just about. Tells you somebody's serious about what they're doing. Do we have all the details about what they're doing? Not necessarily, but their website looks pretty clean here. And when you see get a demo, that leans to me very high net worth investors, high net worth use. Blockchain data for finance. It's almost like we saw multiple products and projects, same thing, coming out about financial data. Why would they want to have financial data accurate and fastly fed to them? Well, because they plan to use it in their investing, in their trading, in their selling, in their buying strategies. I think it's important. And they say they're trusted by leaders, and you are taking their word for it. Uniswap, Visa, Phantom, AI16Z, Crypto, MetaMask, Coinbase, MoonPay. I like how they throw some very small fries. Like you have Grayscale in here with like AI16Z Crypto, right? Those are not on the same wavelength here. But anyways, Illume, probably not something that's ever going to matter to you. And it says they raised $40 million in a Series B funding round, if you understand what we're saying. Jelly my jelly just somehow wound up relevant today. Let's take a look at this thing. Wow, it had this huge pump at one point, and it's done literally nothing. I was never really big on it because they never really had a working product that I know about. January 30th, 2025, they came out. Hey, Campsta's here. Welcome in, welcome in. Blues Guy says, thank you, dear God, for this good life, and forgive us if we do not love it enough. If the only prayer you ever say in your entire life is thank you, it will be enough. Greetings, Undergrounders. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for coming to the Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. And we're looking at Jelly. We're trying to figure out if this thing is ever going to be relevant again. I don't like it. I'll tell you that much. I just want to see, do they have a working product already? The human social network everyone is talking about. Invite only. Okay. So they do have a download for iOS. It's about time. I can't say that I'm like constantly following them by any means, but yeah, this is a weird website. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Are these actual posts? It's giving me Zora vibes already. Zora was garbage. I wanted to like it and I wanted to use it, but I couldn't. It was like if you posted a picture of your cat, it would do really well. But like if you actually posted about anything of any seriousness, nobody cared. And that tells me that it's not very important. MemeX is a little bit like that, but it was a little bit better too at the same time. Rats. What some old people would say instead of cursing. Rats. Anybody ever heard that? Blues Guy says, UG bro, hope all is well. Everything is well, man. I look forward to potentially catching up with you tomorrow. Call me anytime. Chris Goss 333, my fellow lifer, givers gain. And we got Rats. Rats is the animal token created on the BTC blockchain using the BRC20 protocol. Wow. Bitcoin done and did it. DeFi is officially here. Rats. I really want to see their website. Oh wow, it's just ordinal wallet, no listing. This looks terrible. I don't know if they just have like a bad data feed there or something, but that definitely did not sell me on Rats. I'm gonna tell you that. Card Crypt, of course. Collector bridges RWA, such as Pokemon cards and other things. Maybe it's comic books, whatever it is. Here's their website, right? Like Fort Knox, but with a marketplace. I think the funny joke is there, a lot of people want Fort Knox to be actually audited because nobody seems to know if there's actually any gold there anymore. So there's that. How it works, you send your actual physical worth money item to them and they keep it, and then they give you an NFT or some kind of representation. I don't even know if it's actually a legitimate NFT, like on chain and immutable, and then you trade it around, and if they so happen to go bankrupt, they might just actually be the ones who own all of your stuff. Just saying. It's a lot like cryptocurrency with FTX and other failures, right? Voyager, whatever else, Celsius. And so that's why I'm very weary of it. The funny part here, I'm going to be honest, I want to like it. I want to think that this is awesome. And there's a couple other, the reason why I'm taking a minute to say it is this narrative's been around, and there is a couple other projects that basically do the same thing. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Not your physical collectibles, right? If you don't own them, you don't own them. Solstice, SLX in the building here. Solstice delivers institutional grade DeFi on Solana via stablecoin yield, staking, and performing infrastructure. I like it though. Can we change staking to stanking? It just sounds better. We've checked this out a couple of times. Their big claim to fame here is they have a 3-year track record. They've been around and they haven't messed it up yet. They're doing good, boss. So you should trust them. Now, their TVL is over 500 million and it's up almost 40%. I'm assuming that's year to date. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know if that's in 3 years. I don't know what that number comes from, right? Anyways, you got your one-click, easy, quote-unquote, safer APY. Then you have your high-yield APY that I'm sure comes with far more risk than the other stuff. It's a yield-bearing financial, product. Not a whole lot to talk about there. Law block. Just really get you going here. Law block is a one-window blockchain-based ecosystem for creating, keeping records of smart legal contracts. Very weird way of saying that. A one-window blockchain. Never heard that terminology ever used before. And look how stair-steppy that thing is. They have 72 million in their market cap. They're basically at all-time highs. Is this thing about to just like absolutely blow? Maybe. I'll tell you that the squareness here doesn't look very organic, but it might just be a couple big people selling in and out or something, or buying in as they hear about it. LawBlock AI offers AI-generated legal documents, Web3 e-signatures, global legal support, and secure blockchain storage. Resolves disputes seamlessly via ADR and international mediation and arbitration courts. It is really interesting. I don't know how much stake I'd put in it, but if it does what it says it's supposed to do, over time, it could be pretty great. Look at this wick, though, man. You could have made a lot of money on that wick when it went to 10 cents and then immediately back to 20. You could have doubled your money. I guess if you see this thing wick hard, you might want to buy in. You're basically just now getting away from that previous high that you started at about 26 cents. So good for it. I love to see people take a shot at something, right? Let's see, and they're on XDC, so if this does well, maybe it's going to give some use case for the XDC network, and all those people can, jump for joy as it pumps. I got no problem with that. Let's see, Allscale. Not Allstate, Allscale. Allscale is a non-custodial stablecoin payment platform providing invoicing. They're trying to get in there with Zebek, payroll, and checkout infrastructure for businesses and Web3 teams. So, what do they call that? POS system, proof of sale. A lot of not a lot, almost all front-end business has some kind of POS system to take payments. That's just how you do business, how you get the money into your bank account. Touch that like button and support Underground Crypto. It's free, helps bring more research back to the community. Absolutely it does, Melissa. Thank you for saying that. And if you haven't smashed the like button yet, or you think you've smashed the like button, just double check you're subscribed. Ronin, Aave, and Pump.Fun. Aave we were doing the news the other day, and Aave had some interesting stuff going on. They were talking to Aave. Some bank is bullish on Aave, and they believe that it could go to $3,500 by 2030, which is a weird timing. You think it'd be 2028, because that would be 2 years into a bear market technically. So maybe it's actually $3,500 in 2034. But either way, still 40-something X return from where it is right now. Maybe you get it a little cheaper in this bear market. And let's flip back over, raise that crypto IQ, as that is a big part of the show. We are rolling through things fast because I don't have to read the chat constantly. It says, Blues, I know Firelight was having something too. Flare added gold and silver markets. Oh, that's cool. Still waiting on those Flare rewards. Firelight rewards. Stablecoins are designed for stability. It's in the name, but they're not guaranteed for safety. A stablecoin is a crypto asset designed to maintain a stable value. This seems very obvious, but just hold on a minute, right? We're going somewhere. Often being pegged to a fiat currency like the US dollar. Not every stablecoin is in the US dollar, by the way. Brooking explains that stablecoins are designed to maintain stable value relative to another asset, usually is the US dollar, but it could be any asset that is a currency of a country, right? It could be honestly any asset. It could be gold. That design is useful because it reduces the volatility that makes crypto assets hard to use for payments, right? But design is not the same as a guarantee. Stablecoins still depend on a system behind it, just like anything else. Stablecoins aim for price stability, but price stability still depends on trust. Reserves, redemption, infrastructure, and market conditions can compromise your pegged asset, right? The peg is the promise everybody is depending on. That is the actual part that makes a stablecoin stable. If a dollar stablecoin trades near $1, users feel highly confident. If it slips away from the peg, trust can break very quickly and then more people start dumping it. The peg can depend on things like reserves, redemption access, market liquidity, issuers' credibility, and I think after the Clarity Act is all done, they're in America anyway. I don't know how it's going to work outside of their jurisdiction, but I think they're going to use their partners to rein it in. The Clarity Act is pretty much going to come say, hey, if you don't have a license, you can't issue a stable coin digitally that has to do with our dollar. You do what you want with anything else, but when it comes to our dollar, we own that, and you guys are stepping on our toes. We've been nice, but now we have regulatory framework in place telling you it's what the Clarity Act is really all about. Banking relationships. Allegedly. Banking relationships can also have to do with the pegging, right? And then blockchain reliability and user confidence. Nobody laugh. That means stablecoins are not only a technology product, they're also a confidence product. And the takeaway here is that stablecoin value depends not only on code, but on whether users believe that the peg can hold under stress. Don't laugh. Firelight has no medals. UG, they offer points as rewards. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. Yep. Thank you for always being so dependable about the Flare ecosystem. I wanted to say Firelight ecosystem so bad, but I mean Flare, right? Appreciate you. And yeah, I know that. I'm just saying I'm waiting for those points to be redeemable for something. I'm staking on MemeCore, and they give me XP points for staking, and they're not worth anything. So until those points are like, and I believe in the project, don't get me wrong, but not MemeCore, but Firelight. But until I actually can get something for them, then I don't know how much I really trust it. I've got a lot of things like that I've been farming, and I just get points, and then I never actually get any value for. Trust layer here, the issuer is who created and controls the stablecoin. Reserves are what assets back the coin. Redemption, can users redeem for dollars reliably, right? Not every stablecoin is USDT and USDC that are the big ones. There are some weird, wacky little stablecoins out there. Personally, I'm staying away from them. You do what you want. Liquidity, can the market absorb large exits? That's a big one. Blockchain. What chain or smart contract does it rely on? Pretty important. How does your regulator feel about it? And can they freeze control? That usually has to do with, illicit things and, the government and FBI and whatever country and their ability to freeze things. Reserves matter because stablecoins need backing. I bought more Flare and BTC and Mega ETH as well today. Yeah, I actually have a tiny bit of money put aside to buy for today. The other money I want to wait till we go a little bit lower, but I do probably want to scoop a little bit of something today. So some good suggestions there. I am liking how low ETH is and how low BNB is. But Mega ETH is one I keep kind of putting off buying. I'm not going to put a lot of money towards it, but it would be pretty nice to scoop super low. Reserves matter because stablecoins need backing. For fiat-backed stablecoins, reserves, they are the foundation. And users want to know whether the issuer actually holds the asset that can support redemption. This was the big narrative that they came after USDT for over and over and over again. And you know what? The thing never went down, and they proved that they had reserves many, many times over. So what are you going to do? Trust them, I guess. Use them here and there, right? Are reserves cash, treasury bills, repo agreements, commercial paper, or another asset? Brooking noted that stablecoin growth can increase demand for short-term U.S. Treasury bonds as issue holders reserve backing circulating stablecoins. Now, before we even go any further, I'll finish this real quick. That connection is important because stablecoins are no longer just a stablecoin side product. They are increasingly connected to traditional finance markets. Takeaway: stablecoin safety depends on partly what backs a coin and whether the backing can hold up during stress, right? There is a narrative, somewhat conspiracy, I guess you could say, but it makes sense, that bringing stable coins into a more global setting, basically giving people in parts of the world access to it, kind of almost around their governments, right? Want or will for their people, can spread out the national debt of America and almost absorb it and kind of wipe it clean. Anybody ever think of that? So there's a lot you could get into. I've posted videos about it in the Discord, but it's a really interesting narrative because it would be one heck of a power move by the government or this, legislation, whatever you want to say. But I wouldn't put it past them. Redemption risk is where confidence gets tested. A stablecoin may look safe when everything is calm. Remember, bottom of the bear market, things break. The real test comes from when people want to redeem. No, I'm not saying any of your, USDC, USDT is liable to break, but other stuff breaks and crazier things have happened. Can users convert the stablecoin back into dollars? Can the issuer process large redemptions? Can reserves be sold or accessed quickly? Can banks and market makers handle the pressure? When it comes to quickly, we're used to the SWIFT system. I'm pretty sure everything is lightning fast compared to that. A 2026 paper on stablecoin risks argued that even conservatively backed stablecoins can face stress from redemption surges, bottlenecks in treasury and repo markets, or other technology distributions. This is why you see people a lot of times following the issuance of Tether, or I'm sure they do it for USDC too, where they'll be like, hey, Tether just issued 1 billion more Tether. Obviously, they're expecting some demand. Why would that be? That is the hidden plumbing that most users do not see. The peg is the most important when confidence is actually under pressure. The normal conditions, stable coin holds a peg, users trust the redemption, market stays calm. Bad news happen. This is almost like a bank run kind of condition here. Bad news happens, users rush to redeem. Same thing as a bank run. Liquidity pressure. Peg weakens, trust drops fast. This is basically what a bank run looks like for a stablecoin. It's good to know about. Freezing and blacklisting are real trust trade-offs. Let's see. Underground, did you see the legendary drop of Meme Core? What's the FUD about? Kimster, you were here yesterday. Maybe you tuned off early or something. We covered it yesterday. Let's go back to Meme Core. It'd be in the top 100. Just real quick for Camster Real here. We'll break up our thing for a minute. It's bounced a little bit. We don't really know because we went and dug, and we even used ChatGPT to find news, FUD, anything that would give us a real reason why this thing dropped so hard. And there isn't any that we can find. If you find something, let me know. But as far as we know, we don't really know why it happened. Now, I bought most of mine at about $1.10, $1.13, I believe. I'd have to go double check. But you're at 90 cents. It's not. You haven't lost all of it, right? It's not like it went to 1 penny. That would be a different story. But anyways, does look like a bearish, a rising wedge, bearish continuation pattern for sure. We'll see what happens. That's for sure. But anyways, yeah, it took a huge tumble on the week here. It fell from about $2.98, so $3 to literally 57 cents in a matter of no time. So it did have a monumental fall. I'm not taking that away from it, but that really happened yesterday. And then we went over it, and then we tried to find any information that we could about it, and we never really could find anything of any significance at all. It almost seems like a big player, like a really big player, sold at $3, which is the higher price points, right? Let's see. This is, I don't want to get too off track here. I just want to see what its all-time high was. $4.82 was actually the all-time high. So that was actually quite a bit higher than I realized that it actually went. But $3 could be a good exit price if you think the whole market's about to tank. We don't really know. We couldn't find anything solid. It's going to go down more eventually, and I'll buy that dip too if I can. Well done, well done. So we're talking about stablecoins and where there is risk. The whole series is who can you trust in crypto. At the bottom of a bear market seemed like a good topic to go over. Freezing and blacklisting are a real trust trade-off. Of course, we talked about it on one hand for financial crimes and stuff like that, or whatever crimes. That could be a good thing. If it gets out of hand and CBDC and you don't do what the government tells you and so they freeze all your money, that could be terrible. Some centralized stablecoin issuers can freeze or blacklist addresses. They can stop stolen funds, scams, sanction violence, and criminal finance. But it also means the users are trusting the issuer's control system, that they never misuse it. Routers reported that Tether said it froze billions of dollars worth of USDT connected to illicit activity. And then who gets to keep that? Does Tether keep it? Or does it wind up back in the hands of the people they stole it from, or whatever? This shows the trade-off clearly. A stablecoin can be compliant. It can cooperate with law enforcement. It can be useful for regulated payments, but it can also be less censorship resistant than decentralized crypto assets in the ethos of crypto self-sovereignty. Stablecoins may look like crypto dollars, but some of them still have centralized control points. Is this news to you? Did you know that? Let me know down in the comments if this is actually giving you some insight that you didn't already know. Regulation may increase trust, but it also increases control. Regulation is a major part of stablecoin story now. The OCC says the Genius Act enacts I don't know what I'm saying. The Genius Act was enacted on July 18th, 2025, and establishes regulatory frameworks for payment stablecoin activities in the United States. The OCC also said that the act generally prohibits anyone other than a permitted payment stablecoin issuer from issuing a payment stablecoin in the U.S. So they got some control over stablecoins, right? Because they were jumping all over their territory. They were stomping all over their territory. I think that's what I was trying to say. And they didn't like it. So they got some regulation together. Didn't do anything else. Just made sure that they had control, right? And that could help make stablecoins more trusted by institution, payment companies, and mainstream. That's great and all. Doesn't really raise a lot of value to us. You can't buy a stable coin, right, and then it go up and you make money because it's stable. That defeats the purpose. They're making money off of fees, like any network, right? But regulations also raise questions, right? Who gets permission and what does it cost? What reserves are allowed to back it? How much surveillance is required? Are they constantly checking up on you? How much control can issuers exercise? And what happens to decentralized stablecoins? Stablecoin regulation may make the system safer for some users, but it also makes the system far more controlled, and a lot of people get up in arms about that, for sure. Stablecoins can be a tool for both good users and bad actors. That's basically what we just said. The big picture, stablecoins are useful because they're trusted, and risky because they require trust. It can go either way. I hope you guys are really understanding what we're trying to say here. Stablecoins may be one of crypto's strongest utility stories and adoption stories, and people caring about it who are maybe outside of the traditional DeFi movement. They can help money move fast. They can support DeFi. They can power payments. They can also connect apps, wallets, exchanges, and global users. It's great for global payments, but they do not escape the trust problem. They move it into issuers, reserves, redemptions, banking relationship, freeze, control, smart contract, chains, regulators, apps, and custodians. That's where the trust has been moved. And that is why a stablecoin fits perfectly into crypto's trust problem, because it's very much the foundation. We talked about stablecoins being the foundation in a previous series. Now we're back to say, hey, there could be trust problems in the foundation, and that might be worth knowing as you speculate in this market. I hope you found it useful. Big takeaway, stablecoins may be crypto's money layer, but every money layer still has a trust assumption. And there it is, guys. We did it. We did it. We showed up and raised that crypto IQ once again, and I hope that it serves you well at some point. Top gainers, top losers. Aave, actually the top gainer. And you know it's one heck of a day when the top gainer of the day is like 11%, 11.5%. Nothing amazing. Loser, Meme Core, hate to see it. It's there. Sky AI coming in second with 21. Pump.fun, another 11%. There you go. But speaking about how stablecoins, they make their money. The business of stablecoins make their money off of revenue. I really do like this blockchain feature or data here that they give you. Wow, that's probably too zoomed in. I wanted to zoom in, but I didn't want to zoom in that much. There we go. It's a little better. About revenue. And who do you think is winning the revenue? Let's find out who won on the 17th. Why is that so far back? Is that really as far? You would think we'd be able to get a little bit closer than that. Nope. June 17th is as close as we can get, or as early or as late as we can get. I don't know. I'm going to figure it out. Tron actually winning again. Tron didn't win yesterday. Hyperliquid made $1.8 million yesterday. They made $1.7 million the day before. They made $1.7 million the day before that. They made $744,000 the day before that. And this is a bear market stuff. Hyperliquid made $1.6 million the day before that. Hyperliquid on top most of the time. Isn't that something? I have nothing against it, but Hyperliquid making money. And they're making money off of the fees of the transactions in the network. Let's go down to the 30-day. And you will see the big gap, right? Second biggest, Tron. With fees. Tron is relevant because Tron is making a lot of money off of fees. $29.6 million. But it's actually Hyperliquid who's killing it with $56.4 million in the last 30 days. Let's go to the year. Oh, yeah. Look at that. In the year, Hyperliquid has made $778 million to the second place, Tron at $444 million. Solana, are these not in order of revenue? Am I tripping? Can we toggle this to be in order of revenue? Is that so hard? I misspoke, I guess. You would think that they'd put it in order. Hyperliquid winning. Solana slightly edging out Tron. Solana with $473 million. Again, this is the year. And then it drops really fast. I mean, Bitcoin's like number 5, and you can see who's really making money here. Base has only made $65 million. Polygon making 22. Swee has only made about $5.2 million. Wow, Mega ETH is actually on the table. That's very interesting. Mega ETH has made $3.8 million. It's not a lot of money, but it's actually highly surprising. You never know what you're going to find. Think about this. This year, Mega ETH has made like double the money that Cardano has made off of fees. As long as I'm interpreting this data correctly, Mega ETH has made over 3 times, almost 4 times more money off of revenue in their chain than Monad has. Melissa, I actually think that this is information you might want to consider. I know you're buying, you own Monad and you own some Mega ETH, so you're pretty well covered, but just think about this. Who's going to do best? Probably the one who makes the most money and can pay the most employees and do the most marketing and survive the most bear market lows. For whatever reason, Mega ETH has not been great in price of market cap of the coin that it's reflecting, but as a blockchain network, they've made almost 4 times more money than Monad has, and I don't think they've even been around near as long. That gives me a little bit of air of bullishness for Mega ETH because, I mean, they made $3.8 million. I don't think any of that money is going into the market cap. I think it's probably going into the treasury, but it's not a horrible thing either. So I would definitely take that into consideration. You never know what kind of sauce we're just going to slide on by here that you weren't expecting to happen, and you don't know when it's going to come either. So there is that. And with that, we really ran through this show today. And I say it all the time. The show is as long as the show needs to be. There are days where our show is 4 hours long. There are days where the show is 1 hour long, which is basically, today it's over an hour. But we started at 8:30, it's 9:42. We raised your crypto IQ. We went over all the trending coins. We looked at the Fear and Greed Index. We looked at all the prices of the top, say, 20 to 30 cryptocurrencies. We have done quite a bit of stuff here. And, hey, on a day like today, that is a home run to me. Nessa is kind of on the radar here. They're promising a lot of things. I think it's interesting. It seems mineable. They're saying you can make money even from your low GPU computer. I don't know how true that is, but we're watching it for sure. And that's pretty much everything. And I'll be back tomorrow and we'll play some DeFi games. I'm very excited about tomorrow's stream, actually. And tomorrow's stream might be one of those streams that runs 4 hours, because we got a lot to go over tomorrow in some DeFi gaming. I'll give a minute for anybody to ask any questions if they want, although I have a feeling not going to get a lot of questions tonight. Check out some chainers as we always do. Stacking up a little BNB. I actually haven't sold for BNB in a minute. Hopefully I get more BNB because it's lower. That would be kind of cool. Dang, I just planted something I did not want to plant. Oh well. It happens. Is it glitching out on me? Why does it feel like it's glitching out on me? It did it. Melissa says, I'm ready tomorrow because I have no work Saturday. Tomorrow's going to be lit. I hope everybody shows up. That's for sure. I answered Camps' question about meme core FUD. Couldn't find any. Striker Heart says, it's all good. I'm tired out today. But that's good. Everybody gets a little break. It is Thursday. And like I said, we're not going to just sit here and blabber and try to make the stream 2 hours for the sake of it being 2 hours. That doesn't seem like the move. But most days it needs to be 2 hours. Some days it needs to be 4 hours. On Halloween, we did a stream for 6 hours. So it is kind of whatever it needs to be. We have a ton of assets here. What is this? Peacock feathers? Do I need to sell those? Let's see. Let's sell all of this into BNB. It's a lot of asset. I haven't sold this much in a long time. Or ever. I've never sold this many things at one time. Did it do it? I think it did the thing. Wow. We got some XP. They do have a big event going on right now, honestly. I think I was supposed to be selling into those that whole time, and I wasn't. But it's like Chainer's 3-year anniversary or something like that this whole big thing is for. Not really exactly sure. Next tier I get some pig food. Nothing amazing. They really want you to buy access to the premium good stuff. But yeah, tomorrow will be a lot of fun, and I'm glad to hear that Melissa, because she contributes so much to a lot of the games that we're going to be checking out, can sit back and relax and know she's off tomorrow and, hey, probably have like a 3-hour stream. I would not doubt it at all. But, of course, as always, love all my underground crypto family. Much hard work going on in the background to bring some things to you. Week's been a little stressful, so I thought I was going to get a lot farther, a lot quicker this week with some things, but it's bottom of the bear market vibes, so I know at least there's not a ton of people demanding all of this stuff at once, which helps a little bit for the pressure. But regardless, a lot of that stuff is coming, merchandise, a game to the show, which I have to like completely... I'm building something way better, but the first version of it will just be something to have on stream to play so that what I've talked about doesn't take 2 years to come out, because I'd like to play it on the stream way before that. But I'll make a much better version of it at a later date. It'll be good to make a simple version of a game that we play during the stream. And there'll be prizes, kind of like how we give away the $5 for, you know, you win the number, except for it'll be multiple different mini games. And then whoever wins all of that will win the prize. Over time, we'll make that prize bigger as we play the game and figure out, you know, how it flows. I look forward to it. I am a bit of somebody who dreams up ideas and then has to go figure out how to do them in territories that I'm not familiar with, like coding, building an app, a game, stuff like that. I have no idea technically how to do it. I've never done it before. I'm starting to get there as I have been doing it. But sometimes it can get a little overwhelming. Anybody ever feel that way? And we're just kind of clearing out the stream here. So don't mind me if I'm just chit-chatting. If you got somewhere to be, I would totally understand. Did this just freeze? Okay, I'm like, tell me the game froze and not the whole stream. But anyways, I can't wait for some of that merch to drop and stuff. I don't think the sales are going to go through the roof right away, but at least I'll have it. You know, you make it once and I don't have to keep making it over and over and over or anything like that. Heck, I'm going to buy my own merch. I know that. I'm going to get me a nice underground crypto coffee mug to drink my coffee out of in the morning, because it just seems appropriate when I am underground crypto, right? Why would I drink coffee out of anything other than an underground crypto coffee mug if it exists? Hit 1,000 so easy, I didn't even notice. Just zone out and just kill all the mobs. Yo, why does this thing keep freezing though? I'm just gonna let him take me out. And let's see what I get. And then I'll hop off again. Stream is as long as it needs to be to do what we need to do, and we're not going to bore you with a bunch of extra random words that don't bring value to your life. So enjoy it. Don't wake up tomorrow and say thank God it's Friday. It's just a little cliche if you ask me. What is happening? I don't even know what's happening right now. Yo, why is everything freezing? A marigold, a one-time use. That wasn't worth it. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. Stay underground, stay crypto, think long-term. Come to the stream tomorrow, as I believe we're going to be having a lot of fun tomorrow. And underground crypto. Computer keeps freezing, so I can't actually in the stream. What is going on? Why is it freezing all of a sudden? All right, guys, I'm gonna hop off. Have a great night. As always, if you need me, if there's anything you want to talk about, you can find me in the free Discord that's linked in the chat. It's in the description. It's all over the place. If you really want it, hop on in there. If you got something you want to ask. It was a great stream. I actually kind of put a few things together that I knew, but I wasn't really combining them, I guess. So even I learned something in these streams. That should be no surprise to anybody. Struggle Heart says thanks again. Later, everybody. Back at you. Have a great night. Underground Crypto out.